why did my mom tell my dad not to allow any of the children to take music as a career? My mother was an opera singer. Remember that both our parents, my parents, just came from the war.
Yeah.
And they got married in 1949. That's just, what, 4 years after the war? And they lived in Manila. Remember, Manila was devastated.
Right.
So, for me, now, this is thinking back because I was trying to analyze why was it so harsh for our parents? No? Life was so harsh. Yun na nga. So I realized that they came from war and the government was trying to rebuild Manila. And so most, if not all, of those people, they had to, all of us, when we were growing up, kailangan ang aming kunin ay become professional bankers, employees, doctors, or not music. Why not? Then this story I heard later on from many other musicians. My mother was like every other musician in Manila, and she lived, before she got married, she lived in a house, she was boarding in a house in Hidalgo. You know where Hidalgo is? That's in Quiapo.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's where my father met her, or my father made legal to her in that area. And she lived in Hidalgo because also Hidalgo was closest to two very important streets for musicians in Manila. One is Platerias, the other one is Raon.
What was the first one?
Platerias. Platerias. Why? That will figure out later in my life, which is also very, very interesting. Platerias and Raon are the two parallel streets at the back of Quiapo Church. Okay. This is the street where Filipino musicians call palengke ng musiko. Somebody has to do research on that. The palengke ng musiko is a place where you will see a lot of musicians nakatambay, nakasuot ng either black pants or white pants and white shirt. Nakatambay lang sila doon. And what were they waiting for? They were waiting for a nombrador who would come. Okay, I need 6 violins. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 3 trumpets. Blah 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 blah. 6 o'clock, I'll pick you up. There's going to be a flatbed truck that will pick you up, and then we'll bring you after the event. What are the events? Fiestas, parties, debuts. Name it. That was the palengke ng musiko where anyone could get any musician who was waiting for
Pati singers.
And my mom
Was one of them.
Would also do that.
Oh.
And she knew how difficult it was.
Waiting there for the next
Booking.
So every day she went there.
Because she was there, and because I guess people knew na merong kantora. May kantora doon. And this was kantora. This was but this persisted all the way until the 60s. But my mom wasn't there anymore. She was teaching in UP na. And I know that she was aware of that. Maybe she only sang perhaps in a couple of, But I saw some pictures of her. She was singing in Balayan Fiesta. She was young, like maybe 16 or 17 years old.
Wow, you have pictures?
I can try to look for it. She has pictures like that.
Awesome.
Kasi it says there 1936 or 1933 or something like that. No? Yeah, in 1933 she would have been only 17.
What year was your mom born?
1917. So, yeah,
That's like a
17.
super nice story to develop already.
Yeah.
Right?
oh,
That's three.
Anyway, if you look at
We can do a show about it.
Diba?
Different show. Oh, anyway.
if you look all her, yeah, you know what's so nice about that palengke? That's what I learned later on when I was starting out.
Oh, wow.
And I was starting out, and the musicians na kinukuha namin, meron ng nombrador.
What's Nombrador?
The agent.
Ah, the booking
The
agent.
booker, the
Nombrador.
Yes, the nombrador. You know, June Regalado was a famous nombrador.
Really?
Yes,
Chuchi Regalado the drop.
June, the father. Guys,
So when you can you continue? When you were starting out, you would go to the palengke.
no, oh. No, I heard that story when I was starting out, and I was talking with these older musicians, and they would say that there's this palengke before. Kasi organized na eh. Later on, when I came in, tapos na yung 70s na to eh, when I started to work eh.
When did you start? Professionally.
I would say 1970 as a pianist for a bank choral.
Which band?
Development Bank of the Philippines. Pero listen to this story first. How did I end up there in 1970? Because when I was just about to graduate in high school, tapos na yung high school. High schools ended in March. So from March to June was when I would be first year college, right? So I was just 15. I turned 16 in May of 1970.
Okay.
You know what I did? Oh, this is another story. Oh my gosh.
I have the phone here.
I asked my dad for 1 peso because that was enough for me to bring me to Quiapo. It cost 25 centavos to go to Quiapo and 25 centavos to go back. I'd have 50 centavos for whatever I want. Maybe hamburger on the street was 35 centavos and Coke was 15 centavos. So that's 1 peso in 1970. Alright, what did I do in Quiapo? I went to Quiapo precisely in the Platerias area. That's why it has such meaning to me. Has a lot of a lot of meaning to me. Because I went to Platerias, there is in Platerias that there were several music stores, and I frequented the Rhapsody Music House. It was a music store. Why? Because I wanted to be discovered.
Ah, okay.
Discovered so that I can have a job.